Hello world, Shelly here, and today I thought we would do a little get ready with me, try some new drugstore makeup, chit chat about all the things going on in my world, if not the world, and just have a little catch up sesh, shall we? Let's get into this. I have here from CoverGirl the Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Oil, and one thing that I do in the wintertime is I always start my makeup with putting something on my lips because they're dry as heck, and I have been enjoying this tinted lip oil for this purpose. It also wears well. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. It wears well over like lipsticks as well, but I like to start out this way, and by the time I'm ready to actually put lipstick on, usually it's all soaked into my lips. So that is where we're starting out. I'm going to start with my eyes because we might be making a mess today. I did already prime my face with the Wet n Wild. This is the primer serum, the Prime Focus version, one of their new releases. I want to use the ColourPop Blowin Smoke palette. It is just a very nice looking, smoky palette. This is either going to be awesome or hilarious because I'm going to start with my Wayne Goss 03, and let's hold it this way. I'm going to go in with this light gray shade down here. Now, I had my goth, I'll call it a goth phase. I have already primed my lids with the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. So I had a phase where I attempted to embrace the goth aesthetic. Not that a smoky eye has to be goth, but the way I like it, it does. And the thing is, I either pull it off like a pro, or I look hilarious, like someone punched me in the eyes. And so this really could go either way. And I don't really care which way it goes. I would love if it's beautiful, and if it's not, then we're just going to have a good time here. But I've always loved the goth aesthetic. I love to wear black. I have branched out a little bit in my old age, but I still feel most myself with really dark eyeshadow, a pale face, very little blush, black clothing, Doc Martens boots, and a red lip. That is like my number one. So we're gonna kind of go there a little bit. This is the grown-up version of my black shirt. So we're gonna just go there a little bit. I don't know. This might be. I might look like I had been punched in the face. That is always a possibility. But let's hope not. Let's hope we end up somewhere nice today. So I'm going to grab I need to really wash my brushes. This is the Sigma E25, and I'm going to go into, I think I'm going to use this gray shade over here. Let's do some catching up. So right now I'm actually filming this in 4K on a new camera. So I've been messing around with my beauty room, and it all started with, back in the day, in the olden days, my filming setup was a ring light and then just a couple of side lights. And I liked that setup, but the ring light was pretty cheap. It served my purposes for like 2 years, but it was pretty cheap, and it didn't have a very accurate color temperature. And for those of you that aren't into photography, the color temperature of the light, what you really want to mimic in a studio like this to get natural skin tones and such, is daylight. And daylight has a certain color temperature, 5,500 or so Kelvin is how color temperature is measured, and that ring light just didn't have consistent color temperature. So I wanted something more consistent. So I upgraded my lights, got rid of the ring light, upgraded to 2 different light banks. They're actually fairly inexpensive light banks, but then I took the bulbs that came with them out and replaced them with the fairly expensive bulbs that you get when you spend a whole lot more money. The bulbs are called Kino Flow bulbs, and they fit into the cheaper light bank, and I was getting very good color temperature. this is blending nicely for, considering we're talking definitely gray tones here. So I upgraded those lights and that was working really well for me. The problem is I wanted to have them stacked vertically so the light was coming at me from the front, and I don't want to spend the kind of money you have to spend to get the kind of stand that you need in order to stack the two lights vertically, because I still don't make money on this channel. I do make money from the ad revenue and from my links, but I only make about a third of what I actually spend on makeup and skincare for this channel. So I'm not ready to spend thousands of dollars more on equipment when I can get away with cheaper things. So I had cheaper stands for my lights, but it meant I couldn't stack them vertically. They were kind of like hodgepodge, one's higher, one's lower, coming at me from different angles, and it was just weird. And that got annoying. And the one thing I missed from having my ring light was that my camera was within reach. It was like right here. Well, so I wanted to get the ring light so that I could put the camera back on my vanity on a tripod there, so I could reach it, so I wouldn't be knocking things over on my vanity when I reach over to my camera. I liked being able to reach it while I was sitting down and being able to change focus and things like that. I'm doing it as if like the lens is right there, like you guys, you know. So I decided a few weeks ago to order a new ring light. I've only filmed a couple videos with the new ring light, so I'm still working on getting the lighting figured out and things like that, but I do really like it. The problem is that it didn't fit on the stand that I could put on my vanity with the camera on it, so I still can't reach my camera, which is a bummer. Let's see, let's do something else. You know, the trick with a smoky eye is you just have to blend forever. So it actually bodes really well for videos like this, because then I can just keep talking and forget that I'm blending. Where do I want to go next is the question. Let's deepen the outer corner a bit. This one here looks like it's going to have a little bit of purple to it, and I'm kind of feeling that right now. I'm going to grab this brush. I don't know what this is. It's just a little shader brush. I'm not sure where. I don't know what it is. I have some brushes like that, but can't tell you what it is because I don't know what it is. Ooh, that is a nice shade. So I've got the new ring light. Unfortunately, I still can't reach my camera because the tripod doesn't fit that light, which is a total bummer. And so that kind of left me in the same spot that I was before, except that I'm getting better lighting coming at me from the front. So then I was just like, you know what? The camera I was shooting on was the Canon 70D. I'm a Canon girl. I also have a Canon 5D Mark III, which I don't use for YouTube. I use for like landscape photography and all that good stuff. So the 70D I've had for 5 or 6 years now. It's due for an update. And this past fall, Canon came out with a 90D. They had an 80D, 80D in between. I skipped the 80D, and I figured I'm just going to upgrade and get the 90. So I got the 90D. One of the upgrades is it shoots in 4K, so I'm shooting this in 4K. I don't even know if it's going to fit on my memory card or what. I've never shot in 4K before, but I'm thinking it will be good for skincare videos because I'll be able to get really good close-ups, and when I zoom in you'll be able to like see every freaking thing. So that's gonna be an upgrade. Now I'm gonna grab my Wayne Goss, where is it? My little baby brush, the little 20. And what shade? I'm going to stick with that same darker shade. It looks like it's got little shimmers in it, but it really doesn't. They don't really show up. And we're going to kind of do sort of a halo eye-ish thing going on. I have to admit, I was watching this girl Shay do a tutorial with this palette, and she's given me the courage to kind of try something I don't usually do, which is go toward my inner corner with a dark shade like this, because what happens to me, I think, is I usually look like I've been more punched in the face. Well, we're going to try it, and maybe I won't look like I was punched in the face. So anyway, then I decided to go buy the new camera. So I got the 90D. Today is the first day I'm filming with it. I'm also attempting to use my iPad as a monitor for the camera, and that is why it keeps shutting off on me, and I'm not sure why. It's really getting annoying. So when I have weird jumps in my video, it's because the camera keeps shutting off on me, and I have a feeling it has to do with my app. But the nicest part, I think, of the 90D, and the reason why I convinced myself to use my tax refund money to go get it, is that you can control the camera with a smartphone or an iPad, like an iPhone or an iPad. I am looking a little bit like a raccoon, you guys. We will see where this goes. I'm going to go a little bit deeper with this guy in the corner. Whoa, that picked up a lot of pigment. Might be terrifying. Or not, we might be alright. Alright. So you can control your camera with a smart device, like an iPhone or iPad in my case. And my hope then was that I could use my iPad as the monitor for the camera, control it right here. That solves the problem with having to get up in order to manage the camera settings, and life would be grand. Or not, I don't know. I was hoping life would be grand. So I'm kind of trying it all out now. I'm experimenting with things. The iPad does not want to stay on. Maybe I just have to tell the iPad not to ever turn off. Maybe it's an iPad setting problem. I don't know. It's one of those things. So that is kind of what is going on. You might have also noticed the background of my videos has changed because I had to move the vanity over in order to make space for the way I wanted to put my lights with this new setup. I wanted the two lights to be at my corners and then the ring light in the center. So in order to do that the way this room is positioned, I had to slide my vanity over to give myself more room behind it. And so right now, you're kind of only seeing one of my two. Well, you can kind of see the second one over here. The two that used to be flanking me, now they're both shoved over there. The vanity actually got moved this way. And so that's what's happening behind me. I still haven't figured out exactly how I want everything arranged, but we will get there. We will get there. Hopefully everything will work out. Okay, I'm done with that color. Here is what I'm thinking. I've got a couple of ColourPop single shadows, the Super Shock shadows, and one of them is Issa, and one of them is Whittle. And Whittle's a little bit too purple. Issa is kind of blue, but I'm thinking if I mix the two of them, they'll make a nice little combo for the center of my lid. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to start with Issa. Let's see, which finger? I'm going to use my ring finger for this one. Yeah, it's kind of a dark purple. Oh, it's lighter than I thought it was. Oh, that's a cool duochrome. That's really pretty. I love these shadows. They're very, very nice. I wanted to keep this dark. Oh, gosh, that's really pretty. I'm so used to doing like either a very bright inner third or like doing a very bright pop of color or silver in the center as I talk with my hand right in front of my face. I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to just branch out and just do a very dark smoky eye. This color is prettier on its own than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be more blue. It is more purple in the best way possible. I really like that. I'm not going to use the other color. I'm going to stick with that one. Let's get this off of my finger. That was not effective. So that is kind of the update on what's going on around my vanity and around my makeup room and all that. Let me get these lids back on. And I just want to go back in with, I'm thinking I want to take that center shimmer and just, oh, I can't resist, you guys. No, I'm not going to do it, not going to do it. I was going to put it in the center of my lid. No, I'm not going to. Nope, 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 nope. I will do inner corner once we do complexion. Okay, so let's do some complexion. And we'll move on from the camera talk. Sorry, I geeked out on you guys there. I just love camera equipment. There really wasn't a lot of fallout there, and normally I would take a makeup wipe right now, and should I do it anyway? I don't even know where I put them. There they are. Let's just make sure we got it all. I am wiping away my primer, but yeah, there's really nothing there. I mean, that's impressive. Like, I'm all right. Dry it off a bit. I've totally picked colors that look like a bruise. We're gonna go back in and blend a little bit more. Don't you worry. But, oh man, this is my life, you guys. I still had the shimmer shadow on my finger, and I wiped it across my face. Okay. This is kind of like, you guys definitely see the edited version of my life, but most of my life is pretty much like this. This is my life. All right, let's talk complexion. I have from Undone this is the UnFoundation Glow Tint. I was able to order this through Octoly, which is a PR program where creators can request items from manufacturers and the company says yes or no, and then they send it to you. Then you are obligated to review it within 28 days. And so here is my review of using it in a video. And so I thank you, Undone, for gifting me this foundation. If you remember, back when Undone came out, they had launched on Amazon, and I tried a bunch of their stuff, and there were some gems in there. I particularly like their eyeliner brush. They had some very nice shadows, and so I figured it would just be fun to try out their new foundation. It's a very light coverage foundation, 8 shades, retails for $13.99, and I've got the lightest shade, porcelain something or other, porcelain light. So let's just take a look. We're not going to do a full-on review, but you know, you can get an idea of what's going on. They recommend any which way to apply, fingers, brush, or sponge. I have dampened this is from AOA Studios, the shopmissa.com, the one that gives you a little donation to animal causes. From the description, I'm now thinking this is probably going to be a little too light for me, but it's okay. I was going from the pictures online, and the pictures online made it look like it was a little darker, and so, but if it is too light for me, that's good, especially for the people that are more pale than I am. Oh yeah, it's a little too light for me. That's okay though, because we're going to make it work. It's supposed to be very light coverage. It is a dimethicone-based foundation. There's some oil in it. It was castor oil, which, when you're doing castor oil as your final step, like in your foundation, if you have dry skin, it can actually be, assuming you're not sensitive to oils, it can actually be a nice ingredient to kind of lock in any moisture that you might have, you know, imbued your skin with your skincare. So I'm not opposed to things like castor oil or mineral oil in a foundation if it's the last step in your routine. That's actually not bad on coverage right out of the gate. You know, it's actually covering kind of nicely. There was some glycerin in here, some nice moisturizing ingredients, so I feel like this is going to be one that if you have dry skin, it's probably going to work out quite nice. This looks really smooth. Can you guys see that? But I'm guessing oily skin will probably not fair as well. There's a lot of ingredients in it that are just going to help out dry skin, and I feel like they're probably going to look too dewy or too greasy on oily skin. And this is just looking at the ingredient list, but that's kind of the impression I'm getting. It is definitely light coverage. I feel like we are getting some cancellation of redness, but I can still see sunspots coming through. I can still see a little bit of redness coming through, especially on my nose, which for some reason, when I talk, my nose gets red. I don't understand it. I really don't. Things like that are why I wear foundation. You guys ask me all the time, like, I'll get comments that say, your skin is so beautiful, you don't need foundation. It's not my skin. It's not my skin that I'm concerned about. I turn beet red when I have any form of physical activity, just on my cheeks. I look like I'm dying. When I talk, like when I lecture, I'm a teacher, so when I'm giving talks in class, my nose turns red like Rudolph. Like, that's most of what I'm hiding. And my freckles. Freckles, sunspots. I was teased mercilessly as a child. I don't like them. I don't want to see them. It's not about fixing my skin. It's about hiding those things about me. What is on my nose? Oh, it's dry skin. Let's pretend I didn't do that on camera, shall we? Okay. That was all of that product. I feel like that is a good enough for me level of coverage out of this stuff. Good cancellation of redness. Does not look too dewy. It's actually a very nice finish. It is doing some surprising blurring of pores and texture. This is my textured side of my face. Now I'm looking in a 10x mirror here, my Simple Human. That's really nice. That's nice. I feel like I need concealer today. I'm gonna go with, so I have, oh goodness gracious, these are the e.l.f. hydrating version of the Camel Concealer. The one, I think it's the lightest shade, it's Fair Rose. I think it's too light for me, but since I'm going a little too light on my foundation, I might as well go a little too light on my concealer, shall we? Yeah. This has been working very well for me. I like it because it also works really well when you use it on your face as a, spot conceal, low or no foundation kind of a day. And it blends out really well. Well, that's actually lighter than the foundation. I'm just going to be super pale today. It's okay. So that is, I don't even remember what I was talking about. This is my life. You're getting the uncensored version of me. Unedited, uncensored. Well, not uncensored. I actually curse like a trucker. But I don't do it on camera because I would like you all to be able to watch this if you have children and they can still be in the room and you don't have to worry about me saying something that you don't want them to repeat, unless you don't want them to repeat things like putting your grubby paws in your lotion, or I don't know, me messing with my furs. I don't know. If that's what you don't want them to repeat, well, you're just out of luck there, kid. So let's talk mini fridge. Oh, my skincare fridge. You might have seen the more I look at this purple, I'm so distracted right now. The more I like it, the more I like my eyes looking like a bruise. I'm kind of really digging this. Whoa, what happened to my nose ring? Whoo! So, you guys know I had the Face Story mini fridge. Face Story is a subscription service for face masks. I love face masks, and I really love that subscription. I'm not getting it right now because I got a backlog of them I can't keep up. But wonderful subscription. I bought that mini fridge for my skincare, and 3 months later, it stopped working. We have to do some makeup real quick. There, at least I edited out me picking my nose. So, what should we use today? Let's do the Sculpting Glow again. I'm going to give it another day in court. I've talked about this in a video before. Do I think I need to set this? I don't. I feel like this totally. Should I set it anyway? I have a powder that I want to try. Nah, let's not set it. I like it the way it is. So the fridge died. And this is from Revolution. It is the Sculpting Glow Sands of Time. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. I used to love that soap as a kid. So, fridge died, and that sucked. It was like 3 months old. I messaged them. It was right around Christmas and the holidays. So, there just wasn't a lot of customer service going on. Eventually, I did get in touch with them. They immediately said, send it back to us. They sent me a prepaid shipping label. I shipped the refrigerator back to them, and they sent me a new one. I did have to contact them and say, hey, did you guys get my package? Because I really need my fridge. And then they were like, oh, yeah, sure, it's on its way. And then they shipped it. So, I don't know which cat is trying to get in the door right now. It's probably Ziva. So they shipped me the replacement fridge. I got it up and running. Oh, I missed it, you guys. I just didn't realize how much I was going to fall in love with having my skincare in a refrigerator. Holy cow. Yeah, I love it. It's now going to be a necessity in my life. So, I'm next going to use Wet n Wild re-released Pearlescent Pink. I'm very excited about that. So, I should have known that my first fridge wasn't quite right, because it's sort of, it made condensation, and I did a quick review of it when I first got it, and I was talking about what I put in my skincare fridge. I will try to remember to link it for you guys, but, so I was like, it made condensation. I had to change out a paper towel once every 4 or 5 days, because otherwise it would be, wet inside the fridge. It didn't get super cold. It didn't get as cold as the instructions said it was going to get. I'm putting on way more blush than I normally do. There's a hair on my face. I should have known something was wrong with it. It wasn't right from day one. But I didn't, because I've never had a skincare fridge and I didn't know anything about them. So I didn't know anything was wrong. Turns out this new fridge doesn't make any condensation. There's no water, there's no leaking, there's no nothing, and it's much colder. So there was something wrong with my original. So far, the new one is totally working. That's me throwing my highlight brush all over the place. I love this brush. It's from Real Techniques. It is, what is it called? I think it's called the setting brush. Yes, it is. I use it for highlight. I'm going to use the Sculpting Glow. I mentioned this in my favorites and fails that I don't like the highlight on this, even though I love the contour shade, because the highlight looks a little chalky on me. I'm just going to show you guys. You're going to see it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll start looking beautiful. See? It just looks chalky. That was so whiny just now. Oh my god. I don't know. I just feel like it looks chalky on me. Am I crazy? I mean, don't answer that. So I was very glad that they didn't fix my fridge, they fixed my problem and gave me a new fridge. And so that was resolved happily, and hopefully the fridge will keep working, and that'll be the end of that. I just can't put my finger on what I don't like about this highlight. I just can't put my finger on it. I'm not sure. Really not sure. But anyway, so that is the fridge story. Should we talk a little bit about Curology while we are going to finish the eyeballs? You guys know I've been on Curology for a few months now. I am waiting for my next box. It should be here soon. I'm going to use a Wayne Goss. This is the number 5. Ooh, decisions. I am going to start back with that dark shade. And I'm just going to take it on the outer third of my eye, because yikes, that's dark. I should have gone purple. So I've been doing Curology, and I love it. It has really totally simplified my nighttime skincare, which is awesome. And I just requested that they bump up my tretinoin. And my skincare provider said, well, she said yes. She said she expects that I would still be able to get results if I continued using the 0.01 that I was on. I'm going to switch to a little bit fluffier brush. It's from IBY Beauty. I think I got it in one of my boxes. And I'm going to go into that more purpley shade. She had said that I would continue to get results with the one I was using, but at my request, she would approve bumping up. So I think I'm bumping to 0.02, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten it yet. And so we'll see how that goes. I'm at the point now where I'm using my Curology every single night. So I feel like my skin can tolerate a bump up. And so I want to, because I want to get rid of as many wrinkles and textures as I can. And I know I don't have much going on in the way of wrinkles and texture compared to some people. That side blended out so nice. Did you see that? I couldn't do that again if I tried. I don't know what I did. So, I mean, I know I don't have a ton to complain about. My skin is really good. I have some good genetics in that regard. I think I need my little brush again. So I'm not complaining, really. I swear I'm not complaining. But I am switching to a slightly higher tretinoin. The other thing that I'm changing is they just came out with a rich moisturizer. I do air quotes because that's just the word they used. I don't know. It's meant for drier skin. And you know from my previous comments that I felt like the moisturizer they have by default was not enough for me. So I did order the rich moisturizer. We will see how rich it is and if it's enough for this dry mug. But I'll keep you posted. It has not come yet, and I need to use it for a few weeks. I think by the time that super bottle is done, I'll be ready to give you guys another video update on the progress of my skin. I'm very, very happy with it so far. So we will see once that has happened. Okay, I need some inner corner highlight, you guys, because... Whoa. That was unexpected. Wow. Okay, my finger is going to be out of control. Where's a brush? I do have the Jaclyn Hill brush for highlight. Let's just do a little bit of diffusing it into the lid. I can't help myself, you guys. It's like something takes over and I just have to. I don't know why. That is like friggin', I don't even know what to say. That's very, it's like I have aluminum foil on my eyes. That's super crazy. In a good way. In a very good way. I like that. You know, if you're gonna just do it, you might as well just go for it. Go the whole 9. Why not? Alright, now, last step. What brush is this? I just grabbed something. Oh, Morphe. Oh, this is that one that I like that doesn't have a name, because it came in that eye kit. Let's do... Do I need to lighten anything? Okay, I'm going to go with the gray in the top corner here. And just catch the outer edge. Just to make sure nothing's harsh. So, my opinion on this eyeshadow palette so far is freaking awesome. Go ColourPop. To make grays like this as blendable as these are, I'm impressed. You know? The only thing I feel like I'm missing, these are all cool tones. I want like a like just one mauvey gray, like one plummy gray. I'm gonna survive without it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be okay. Where did that hair come from? I'm gonna be okay. But I wish I had just one little plummy gray. All right, let's do the eyebrow. I have this little tiny brush that I got, I think, from CVS in like, it's a no-name, I don't know. I'm going to use the white shade here to hit my brow bone real quick. And this is my favorite brush for my brow bone. Every so often I lose it because it's just this little stubby thing. And they don't sell it anymore. And I get so sad. And then I find it again and I'm happy. And life is good. All right, I'm going to go put on some eyeliner, brush my brows up. I will be right back. Okay, I just went ahead and finished up my upper waterline. I used my Urban Decay 24/7 waterline pencil. Lower waterline, I used the Urban Decay, this is the 24/7 Glide On in the shade Vice. My lips from CoverGirl Exhibitionist Lip Gloss. I'm so digging this color combination right now. It's giving me such 80s vibes. I can't put my finger on it, but it's totally 80s vibes. This is the shade number 210 Girl. I had to look at it because it's GURRRLLL. Girl. I'm digging this. I'm digging this whole thing. So, yeah. Loving the finish on the Undone light coverage foundation. I do love the look of doing a very light coverage foundation when you go like really heavy on the eyes. I don't know why. And then a nice bold lip of sorts. This shade of red is just, I'm looking in the monitor here because I'm really enjoying how it plays off the purple on, what is this shade? Super Shock. This is the one called Issa. Love it. Love the Blow and Smoke palette. I think there's a hair on my face. Yeah. I think this is amazingly blendable. It's so hard to do grays and dark shades like this well. The only thing I would say, depending on your coloring, is these are neutral leaning cool versus a more neutral leaning warm, which would get more into like the grayish and the beige-ish shades. So you need to be able to pull off cool tones. And some people will say straight up they cannot wear colors like this because they make them look like they got punched in the eye. And maybe I do look like I got punched in the eye, but I like looking like I got punched in the eye. So if your coloring is more warm toned, it might be harder to pull off these particular grays because they do lean cool to that sort of blue-ish undertone to them. But the combo, there's that hair again, of this Super Shock with this Blow and Smoke is, mwah. Is that like Italian? I don't know what that is. Whatever I did, it means I love it. Totally digging this shade. I have a bunch of these glosses now. I just keep buying them. They keep coming out with more colors and then I keep buying them. And I enjoy them. They don't survive a meal. You know, they're going to wipe off. They're going to kiss off. But they're super pretty, super comfortable, very moisturizing on dry lips. And by the time I did go to put that on, most of the oil had sunk into my lips, which is good. Hydration is good. Did I try anything else new? Oh, I want to talk about the mascara I used along with the primer. These are from Essence because my CVS now carries Essence, a whole freaking display of it. This is the Volume Booster Lash Primer. It's super volume with super fruits. And then I got the Essence Volume Hero Mascara in Power Black. I really like them both. They're not quite my favorites as much as the combo of the CoverGirl Lash Primer plus the uncensored version of the Exhibitionist Mascara, but they are beautiful and I will continue to use them in combination. I think they just don't give as much fullness as the CoverGirl version. They give beautiful separation, beautiful length, some volume. Definitely worth checking out. I love the look of them. I've used these in combo probably, maybe this is the 4th time now. So I have a pretty good opinion of them at this point. And that's our little get ready with me for the day. Probably a very long video because I don't think I can cut very much of this out because I was just chatting along now, wasn't I? So there you have it. If you enjoy these sort of chatty if you enjoy me being totally unable to talk and just being obnoxious throughout entire many minute long videos, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you to Undone for this foundation. I give it a thumbs up. If you guys would like to see a full review of it, let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.